Hey everybody, I'm Blind Ryan, and I'm hoping I won't wake anybody up because I'm fucking furious. Um, so Elden Ring came out, another FromSoft game, and the same fucking argument comes up again. Uh, the Elden Ring isn't accessible. It needs an easy mode. It needs all this other shit that. Alright. This guy that I respect, Eric July, Young Rippa, he made a video because he was reacting to a video that Steve Saylor made, where Saylor's going on about, oh, the game doesn't have this, the game doesn't have that. He starts off with the stuff that I would ask for, UI options, control options, all that shit. And then he goes into all this other stuff that isn't in the spirit of the game. It would make the game too easy, like visual indicators when an enemy's behind you, and fucking all this easy mode shit in a game series that is not meant to be easy. And Steve doesn't realize that because Steve is not a gamer. Steve is a clout chaser. And I have not held respect for Steve Saylor ever since he wept his fucking eyes out on The Last of Us 2. I thought that was a pussy move. I thought that was a bitch move. And then I tried being friends with him, tried being nice to him, and I gave him a South Park joke, and he fucking cried. He thought I was being serious. It's like, dude, grow a fucking spine. Anyway, Eric, Young Rippa, made a video about where he's talking about, oh, accessibility, y'all just need to get good, and all this other bullshit. I was like, dude, not all of us accessibility advocates are like that. I've been doing this for 8 fucking years. And I'm going to buy Elden Ring. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to go over it as much as I can. I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm just going to get into the game. I'm going to die over and over again because I suck at those games. I'm going to say, this is what is accessible. This is what is not. This is what could be made accessible if anybody had a mind to, mod makers or what have you. This is what should not be touched because the game is not meant to be easy. The game is meant to be hard, and putting this accessibility feature in would make the game too easy. And, I'm just so fucking angry that this goddamn conversation is happening again. It's always a FromSoft game. It was a FromSoft game with Sekiro. It was a FromSoft game with Bloodborne. It was a FromSoft game with all the goddamn Dark Souls. A lot of my fucking peers don't seem to get it. Some games are supposed to be difficult. And they're not supposed to be difficult to access. The menus, the controls, those things should be accessible. You should be able to rebind controls. You should be able to make your menus easier to read. I wouldn't even have a problem with menu narration. That's not what I'm talking about. The UI is one thing. Controls are one thing. The gameplay loop itself is another thing. Let me put it this way. If I am responsible for a developer ever making their game easier, I would quit this, and I would quit gaming in pure shame. Because I do not want a game made easier for us. That is insulting and dehumanizing. And yes, I am not in a respectful mood right now. I am in extremely disrespectful mood. I am so fucking angry that son of a bitch Sailor made us all look like a bunch of yammering pussies. Okay, look. I'm gonna be real. 98% of the accessibility advocates that I talk to are the same thing as Saylor. They're either clout chasing or they have no fucking idea what they're talking about. They live in this idealized utopian world where everything should be playable by everybody. And yeah, that'd be fucking nice, but it's not gonna happen. We need to pick our battles. We need to find the games that are almost accessible and try to help push them over the edge. We need to find areas in which we can actually do good, not try to fucking... It's extremely frustrating when something I have tried to do for 8 years, it feels like it's getting completely undone by one game from one company that, yet again, it's the same fucking company every time. I'll go back to the example that I used before, Cuphead. Cuphead is a very difficult game by design, but I cannot play it, not because of the controls, but because the backgrounds are too vibrant. If the devs wanted to make it accessible for people like me, they would add a layer between the background and the foreground that would let you make the background opaque. If the background were darker and black, I would be able to see the bullets, and I'd be able to dodge them, and mechanically I would be able to play the game. Would that make the game a little easier? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how I don't know how sighted people's eyes worked. If it did make the game easier for them, I would withdraw it. But I think that would be a good idea for an option, so that people like me could play. With Elden Ring, I haven't played the game yet, but what I have seen is that the camera is zoomed out. That makes the game infinitely more playable for people like me because we can see around our characters. Our characters aren't taking up a third of the fucking screen. So that accessibility idea, that wasn't even an accessibility idea, I'm almost positive, just happened to happen that way, ended up helping us out. Those are the best kind of accessibility ideas. The ideas that make the game better overall. Look at Hades with all the sound design that they did. That helps blind people, but it also helps make the game better. It's these fucking people are making my job harder. They're making me look like a fucking idiot. They're disrespecting what I do. And it's not personal, it's professional, and that's worse. So all of you motherfuckers, you know who you are. If you're gonna clout chase, be honest about it and clout chase. I don't have a problem with you clout chasing. I have a problem with you claiming to be an accessibility advocate when you're just trying to fucking improve your own name. I'm actually out there grinding, trying to fucking get work done. I'm trying to help devs make games more accessible. I'm offering the skin on my arm for a tattoo of the first game that gets made blind accessible. What are you motherfuckers doing? Oh, I got this free thing. I got a PS5 because I'm disabled and I got a fucking these and this, that, and the other. Every time you get something from a developer, you should be on your fucking knees thanking them, not expecting more, you entitled little fucks. I want to strangle them so much. And, okay. So that part of the rant is over. Where's my mouse? Need to go here. Jesse's asking for the video. Copy link. There we go. So, Jesse was talking last night. Illegally cited. Love him. Good dude. Great dude. Love talking to him. One of the few people I've kept in contact since I went reactive. Jesse was talking about conversation about automating accessibility features when that's not what we were talking about. It was adding base features to the game engine. Right. So one of the big problems with accessibility is the game engines. A lot of times, we will hear it from the devs. Look, the game engine is what it is. We can't add this feature. So, obvious solution would be to find a way to add in these hooks, and what he called the hooks, I think that's the term, where this hook will read menus. This hook will make color changing easier so that people who are colorblind. This hook will allow people to mess with control options and let you use a controller instead of a keyboard or a mouse or something like that. That is a good idea for accessibility. That will aid developers. It will make it easier for developers to make accessibility features for us. It will allow blind people to play games because they'll have this little thing that the developers can put into their game that will allow, NVDA to read off the menu items or whatever the case may be. But everybody wants accessibility, but nobody has any idea fucking how to do it. Nobody's looking into the nuts and bolts. Nobody's talking to the dev. They're just demanding. And all it does is make us look like entitled little assholes. When most of them don't even fucking care about accessibility beyond what they want. I want a game to be blind accessible from the outset without any mods. I want blind people to be able to enjoy the same game as anybody else. And when we finally manage that somehow, I'm going to get a fucking tattoo on my arm in commemoration of that. I'm going to honor the devs by putting their names in Braille on my inner arm because they are the heroes here. I'm just an idea guy. But these people are making it harder. These people are making us look bad. And if any game developers are watching this, it's nothing against you guys. You guys have to deal with this shit. And I feel for you guys. That's why I work so hard to try to work with you guys rather than against you. That's why I don't call out game devs. That's why I'm always so understanding, because I know the engines are a bitch, the time crunch is a bitch, you don't have the money, you don't have the manpower. I get it. That's why I'm always so thankful when you add anything at all. I just there are ways to go about it, and these fucking people, these popular people who are they're doing it for the wrong reasons, and you should know that, and you should be able to see that. You should be able to see the genuine people who were gamers before they were disabled. I was a gamer before I was disabled. I've been disabled all my life. What does that even mean? Okay. I didn't know I was different. I didn't know I was blind until I was in kindergarten. Before that, I thought everyone saw the same way I do. I thought everyone had problems breathing. I thought everyone was in pain all the time. But it turned out that, I'm different. So I was gaming since I was 2. I didn't know I was different until I was 5. So I've been a gamer longer than I've been disabled, technically. Well, technically not, but whatever. Anyway, there are differences between people like me who just want to play the games too, and people like them who want to beat all the games. I don't want to beat Elden Ring. I want to fail at it the same as everybody else. I just want to be able to read the menu. And that might not even be an issue. I'm going to do a review. Once I get below 300 pounds, I'm going to buy the game myself and I'm going to do a review. Or hopefully Leo will buy it for me. I really hope you buy it for me, Leo. I really do not have the money to invest on this. But I'll do it because I need people to know that we are not all Steve Saylors. We're not all Molly Burks. We're not even all me. I'm just one guy who's sick of this shit. We are all our own people, and we're all doing this for different reasons. Like Ian Hamilton, whom I still respect, even though he and I have had so many disagreements. I still respect him. I still love the guy. But we all do it for different reasons. I'm doing it to get the job done. Straight up, I'm doing it to complete the job. The job is to make a game blind accessible. That is my job. I don't know what Ian's job is. I don't know what Jesse's job is. I don't know what any of these other people's jobs is. I don't know if they're honest enough with themselves to tell you what their jobs are. I think Jesse is. I've got a couple of other people in mind that whom I think could be that honest. Like I know Daryl is that honest. Vol for Life. I don't know the rest of it. Access for All on YouTube. He's that honest. But there's a lot of other people who just aren't that honest with themselves. They don't know themselves enough to know what their goals are. And most of the time, their goals are selfish in nature. And I'll admit it, my goal is kind of selfish in nature. I'm no better than anyone else. My goal is to say that I helped make a game blind accessible. I want to be thanked publicly for making a game blind accessible. I want somebody to go, Ryan, thank you for helping us get our game to more people. But I don't want a paycheck. I just want to know that I was useful. Which, is that better or worse than these clout chasers? I don't know. I think it's better because I'm not chasing clout. I'm chasing the job. I'm chasing the completion of the job. And maybe I'm crazy. Anyway, I'm ranting and I'm tired now, so I'm glad I got it out. Anyway, if you have any input, leave a comment. If you're a game dev and you want me to review your game, email me with a code. If you're blind and you want me to describe a game, email me and we'll work out a price. I work very reasonably, like 10, 15, 20 bucks a game, depending on what the game is and how long it is and how difficult it is and all that shit. And I have been Blind Ryan, and I assure you next video I will be in much more control of my faculties. Have a good night.